What is the biggest frustration for you when you are writing about Xinjiang? What is the challenge there?
I read so many stories about Xinjiang. I told them that people in the training centers are learning national regulations and laws. They live in the dormitories and they can do sports at the playground. But the Western media never believe this.
Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry about. But how do you do your job? Do you check very specifically what you're writing? Do you try to bring to the highest standards you can when you're doing
Yes,
your
of
job?
course. I talked with these trainings in the centers, and I also double-check facts with local officials, things like this, before I release my stories. Yeah.
Well, I think this is a very important topic because we are also journalists. We work in the trade. I was a foreign correspondent, so
Yeah.
I think this is not just a lesson for any reporters who either intentionally or unintentionally caused this one-sidedness. But let's remember that we have a very big responsibility on our shoulder because millions of people could be watching us. And the story of Tu Sun, unfortunately, she was telling the same stories not just through CNN, but she was also telling it to congressional hearing, to U.S. House of U.S. congressmen, and they're passing policy act, legislation based on his story. Victor, what do you think are the consequences if facts are not checked and are not presented on a minimum level even?
Yeah, this is truly a very unfortunate situation, and we need to do whatever we can to straighten out the real facts. And I think while China is faced with these three evil forces, you are talking about Uyghur fighters fighting against American soldiers and NATO soldiers in Afghanistan. At the present moment, there are about 4,000 to 5,000 Uyghur fighters fighting in Syria. So these are real problems, and when they infiltrate back into China, into Xinjiang, they bring back terrorism and extremism and separatism. These are enemies common to China and many other countries in the world. The Western countries should not blind themselves to the ferocious evils of these forces and should stand with China in fighting against the common enemy of terrorism.